I was at UCI with Dr. Fareed on Thursday because I had a cornea transplant 2 years ago. And when I was there, she told me about the symposium today. And she said there's not a lot of people probably that will come that have had the transplant. So you might be able to help people to understand what you went through with the transplant. So she's awesome. So I came.
Great.
I was very young when I was diagnosed with keratoconus because maybe when I was 11 or 12, I started to become, nearsighted. I couldn't see, stigmatism. And it was really amazing. I had an eye doctor because he couldn't fit me with glasses very well. So he said, let's try contacts. And the contacts were, gas permeable. And it was like, whoa, I can see. But I remember him saying, I believe you have keratoconus. And I had no idea what that was. And so over the years, it continued to progress where I kept needing different, stronger, different shapes. I had many eye abrasions because my cornea was so steep and so warped, as they said. So it got to the point maybe when I was in my late 40s or 50s that I went to the piggyback, and that prevented me from getting abrasions, which was really awesome. But then it got to the point that my right eye, I could not tolerate any kind of lens. The sclera lens wasn't around then, so I just quit wearing a lens. And your brain adapted that you saw really cruddy. And I think the hardest thing was people close to me, very few of them really understood what my vision was like. And so they were like, well, let's just get in the car and Sharon, drive the kids home. And it's night, and I'm like, but I can't see. I could not read any, I had to pass the street sign before I could read it. So about 3 years ago, I went to take my driver's test, and I failed with my right eye. And so they said, well, why don't you come back again? And that was like in November. And I thought, I got to do something about this. I can't pass the driver's test. What am I going to do? So I was referred to Dr. Fareed here at UCI. Went through one test, and she said, you need a cornea transplant. I'd always known about a cornea transplant, and I feel so blessed that I had it. Very, very glad I had it here. My recovery's been pretty good. The first couple days, it was uncomfortable, so I came here, and she put a Band-Aid lens on, and that helped. She did the zigzag laser cut. She did a running stitch and radial stitches. Maybe 7 months into it, one of my stitches popped, which was ouch, and your eye looked pretty bad. But I came in, they just took that one stitch out. Slowly she took out other stitches. Once all my stitches were out, no corrective lens, my vision was about 20/40. And then because of the steroid drops and my age, I ended up last year having cataract surgery. Awesome. I did have to, and I wish the FDA would understand that some of us have to have a special lens, that we have such a severe stigmatism. So I had that new lens put in, and I saw awesome. It was just cool. It was really good. And then I came in, and my vision was 20/25. Then it went 20/30, and then when I was here this last week, it was 20/40. So Dr. Fareed said, Sharon, it's not a big deal. The biggest problem as it progressed was how far will it progress? That's frightening. And I went from a gas permeable lens to, I think it was called rose hip or something. It was a special lens for people with keratoconus. And I had a really wonderful optometrist who would get like a suitcase or a little case with him, and he kept putting them in and out of my eyes. And we would try little ones. We'd try ones that he would drill a little hole in, bigger ones. But if it pushed too hard on my cornea, then it hurt. I couldn't wear it. So it was the frustration. And then I never wore a soft lens. So then when all of a sudden I had to wear the piggyback, like people are like, what? And I said, yeah, but it works. Hold me back. It became when it really became evident is when my right eye, I just couldn't wear a lens. So like I snow ski, so I'd put it on the day I was going to snow ski. I could wear it that day. The next day, my eye was so uncomfortable I couldn't wear it. So that, I think that was probably, the worst is as the disease progressed. People, I've seen many of the fellows here at UCI, and I feel really lucky that I had such a wonderful surgeon. Yeah, it feels really positive.
Great.
And that's one of the other reasons I came. My children are older. They don't have keratoconus, but I have 2 grandchildren. And it's really, they're young, 4 and 7. But I feel really good that I know about cross-linking. So if they started to have vision problems, I would immediately want them tested for keratoconus. Because, it is what it is, and there's a good chance someone down the line could have it. And I think now that we have cross-linking, that is something that I'd want them to get right away. And that wasn't, of course, available for me.